Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Diane Omdahl. Diane Omdahl is the founder and president of 65 Incorporated and has been a trailblazer in the Medicare industry for over 30 years. She started her first company in the basement of her home and developed it into a multi-million-dollar organization providing Medicare-related training and tools for home health agencies and long-term care facilities. With her extensive experience, Diane now operates 65 Incorporated and I-65, using her expertise to provide unbiased and expert Medicare enrollment guidance to seniors, their families, and professional advisors. Her services are available through fee-for-service consultations and online software. Diane is also a very experienced and highly rated speaker. Throughout her career, she has delivered more than 400 Medicare-related audio conferences, 200 educational sessions, and 100 in-depth two-day seminars. In the recent past, Diane has presented at LPL conferences, along with webinars for Certified Senior Advisors, Women's Financial Empowerment Network, and Resilient Advisor. Well, good afternoon, Diane. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
You're very, very welcome. I appreciate you making the time, but also getting to meet somebody new on the podcast every single day. And it's just an amazing thing. And that's what gets me out of the bed in the morning. I literally spring up out of the bed knowing I'd get to meet somebody really cool and get to listen to their story. So thanks again, Diane.
Well, thank you. It's good to have a reason to spring out of bed.
Absolutely. So Diane, we're going to jump right into the questions here. Let's talk a little bit about your career in healthcare. You're a serial entrepreneur and now the founder and president of 65 Incorporated. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Basically, the secret to my career growth is my mother told me to always do things right, and I try to help other people to do that. And early in my career, I realized I was good at education. I was an educator probably 2 years out of nursing school in a hospital setting, and I moved from there into long-term care. My master's thesis, I specialized in geriatric education, and that has been my focus through the businesses that I have started. I think helping people to make sense of things is what inspires me. I often work with clients on Medicare who say, I don't know what to do, just tell me what to do. But we go through the steps and all of a sudden they say, oh, I know what I want now. And they figure it out on their own. And I think that is my reason to spring out of bed, to help them avoid the expensive mistakes that can come sometimes with wrong decisions in Medicare.
Absolutely. And I appreciate what you're doing. It's all about helping others, and you do give back, and you've certainly got a vulnerable population there. A lot of baby boomers now that are retiring and beyond. And I'm just so thankful for what you're doing to help others. That's just an amazing story.
Yes, thank you.
So Diane, you've done so much. We've just talked about that. You've done so much to help so many seniors and retirees get educated to navigate the complex world of healthcare, particularly Medicare. What was your vision behind this decades-long endeavor?
I thought about that. When I got out of college, being an entrepreneur was never, ever on my list. I was going to be a nurse, but as I mentioned, opportunities came up. So I was very opportunistic. Like when I had my daughters and they were little, I found a spot where I could be a mother and also be a nurse. And the opportunities around me just seemed to fit with my skills. And my husband always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but he could never find the particular niche for him. And then one day he realized it was right under his own roof. He was the first person to realize that Medicare made sense to me. That's how you can describe my personality. And we built a business around that. I had health problems. I had to quit a job where I learned that stress can really cause your health to deteriorate. And during the break, while I was recovering, he said, why don't you write that book that you think home care nurses need to learn how to do Medicare, because there was no such book. I wrote that book. 3 months later, we're at a national convention exhibiting it, and that was the start of our first business that we had for 23 years. So I think that was one of the secrets, just seeing what's in front of you, opening those doors and taking a chance. And my husband did. He left the Fortune 500 world to start a business with me. And it was a struggle in the beginning, but as I said, we did it for a while. So I think that is one of the secrets, is just realizing what you're good at, trying to specialize that, and then going forward with it.
That's awesome. I love that story. And, sometimes that solution idea or answer is just right under your nose. So that is so cool. And I'm glad you were able to build that with your husband. Diane, I always talk about this a little bit. We're into emerging technologies. We're a publication and podcasts focused on that. And not all of our guests are technologists, but we wanted to ask, is it possible that you're leveraging some of this new and emerging technologies in your business? And if not, did you find maybe a cool tool or app you could share with us today?
Well, our 65 Incorporated does one-on-one consultations, but we realize that we cannot help all the people, and people do not want to pay for Medicare education when they can get it free from other sources. We don't sell insurance. And so we decided we needed to come up with some kind of software system to be able to help people. And basically, the system started out as an outline out of my brain. And my one tech guy tried to find different applications that would work, but nothing really was accommodating to the types of decisions and the way things had to flow. And so we developed our own expert system. I'm not a tech person, as you just acknowledged. I'm the content, but I did talk to our tech team, and they said we developed our own expert system to help facilitate decisions related to the timing and the type of coverage that people need when they get into Medicare. And so that is what we have done. They use all kinds of apps and cool tools. I hear them talking about that all the time, but I have to admit, I'm a graduate of a one-room school, and, technology is something that it was difficult for me to get into, but now I'm the brains behind it. But tools and apps, I have some, but I'm not your digital expert, so to speak. But we have a great system because of the people that I have working with.
Thank you for sharing. And that's totally fine. It's just kind of gives our audience really a broad perspective of all of our guests. We've had everybody from some, yes, I would say in the medical space, they're like brain surgeons, but they're AI or AI scientists, I'd say. And we've had them all over. But what's really cool, Diane, is we get to hear everybody's story and how they're integrating technology into their lives and their business. So thank you for sharing that. So Diane, last question of the day. Can you share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in healthcare or entrepreneurship?
I mentioned the first one is just find that particular skill or knowledge that is important to you that you're good at and base your business on that. I think a big mistake I've seen other entrepreneurs make is they try to be it all for their market. They've got this new product and somebody says, oh, it'd be cool if you would do this, or it'd be cool if you do that. And before you know, you have a product that isn't doing anything right. So when we started our companies, we decided this is what we're going to specialize in. The first one was educating home health agencies in Medicare. The second one is educating consumers in Medicare. And that is what we've done. In two of my businesses, we were the first to come up with a product that was not in the market. So that was our thing. Find what you're good at and then run with it. I think being flexible. We had plan B, C, D, E, F, the pivoting on a dime. We did all of that, and we adapted as we went, and nothing was sacred, so to speak, in what we were developing. And I think something many entrepreneurs fail to realize is that you need to have some funds set aside for a rainy day. During the first company run, Medicare changed the rules. Half of our home care agencies went out of business or were teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. We lost couple $100,000 in 1 year, but because my husband was a very shrewd manager, we were able to survive, and we came out of that a much stronger company. So money is important to develop your product, but you also need to have some sitting there just in case the tide turns on you. And I think that was the very important part financially, but something special, that's the big thing. Don't try to be the end all, be all for everybody.
Thank you. Love those little gems. We have, again, everybody's got a unique story, and we get to share that story of yours now with the world, and we certainly appreciate that. Diane, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Well, thank you, and enjoy the day.
Bye for now.
Bye.